welcome back to the DMG's Third and Wrong YouTube channel. My name is Mike, and today I'm joined by Dylan and Gage. Fellas, how's it going?
It could have been better. It was a great draft day. Kind of. It was like 50-50, but it was a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of excitement, a lot of trades, honestly, a ton of trades. Some shocking wide receivers getting moved around, and some strange activity in New England.
Yeah. To say the least.
Craziest draft. Like that was like what? There was like a 20-minute period in there. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
But we'll get into all that for sure. Before we get into it, though, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 100 subscribers right now. We're at 69.
No, we're at 70.
70.
We're at 70.
We're at 70 now. Look at that.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of everything that's going on around here.
Yes, sir. We see that 97% of the people are not subscribed.
Wow.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and help us get there.
What are you doing?
But let's get into it. It was crazy from start to finish, so let's do it.
All right. Number one here, Trayvon Walker, edge out of Georgia, going first overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, I'll take this one just real quick because Jaguars kind of had a draft I did not like, to be honest. So, Trayvon Walker, I'm surprised that he's the first overall pick, but he is a disruptor, which is not going to be fun having him go against our offensive line, even though we have a good one. And then Devin, I'll get to the other pick as well, but I don't like this pick, to be honest. I tried to convince myself that they weren't going to do it, but they did it, and yeah.
You don't like it because it's good, or you don't like it because he's actually bad?
I don't like it because I think, athletic people and the freaks in the league, they do come out and show out if they have, semblance of skill, which I think Trayvon Walker showed a semblance of it. But, I'm glad it's not Aiden Hutchinson, to be honest, but still, Trayvon Walker's a disruptor. He's going to wreak havoc wherever he is placed on the line, whether he gets those sacks or not.
I talked about it yesterday in my my mock draft video that when you hear those rumblings the day before a draft that somebody's going to end up going number one or somebody can go higher than what you thought, that those aren't rumors. That's going to end up happening, and it showed here. I'm not a fan of the pick. I think there was better players. I think it's a big reach on him, but we're going to give him some grades. Mikey, what do you grade it?
I give it a B-.
Dill?
I'll give it a B+. I think Aiden Hutchinson would still be the better choice, but I still think that it's a very good pick. It's just, if they took him at 4 overall, obviously it would be better.
Yeah, and I'm giving it a C+. So I'm not a fan of the pick at all. And then if Mikey scrolls down a little bit, we can see what America's picking right now. And right around that same range, everyone is kind of...
Yeah, but these are reactionary fans. I'm not going to take any salt into those ratings.
Yeah. The second overall pick, Detroit Lions, they take Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end out of Michigan. Detroit boy stays in Detroit. Good story for the NFL to sell. They needed that because they didn't know if they're going to have a lot of movement and hype and entertaining parts of this draft. Oh, wait. I like it a lot. He's really good. He's the best edge player out there at the moment. The Lions just need to get better, and I like it. I think it's an A. For what they were at, nobody was going to trade up. They weren't going to be able to trade down, and they got the best player available. You can't be mad at it.
Yeah.
Yep,
I agree.
A.
Yep. A+. All right, let's move down.
Yeah. So, as an AFC South competitor or team, I am very shocked that Derek Stingley went here, honestly. He's a cornerback that's dealing with a lot of injuries, which is never going to stop with him, to be honest. He's going to always be riddled with injuries. He's got great potential, but that potential is 2 years gone. I would have hated if they took Sauce Gardner. I like it a little bit more that they took Derek Stingley, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. we've voiced our opinions on Derek Stingley. Based on potential, I think I just have to give it like a B minus, just because like that 1 year of tape was fan freaking tastic. But apart from that, it's just yeah, I don't know. Sauce Gardner's the
Yeah.
better corner, period.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have an edge rusher. Kayvon Thibodeau's there. Um, you know, I don't know. I would have rather seen them take, or I mean, I would have hated them to take Kayvon Thibodeau.
They could have taken so many other things, and they picked Derek Stingley above all things. So this is why I give this a C to C minus.
Yeah, I give it a C+.
No hate on Derek Stingley in any sense or in any way, but there were better players out there, and you didn't pick the best corner in the draft either. So there were so many other options, and they need just about anything, and you didn't even pick the best person in the position that you just picked. So C minus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another one of those where you didn't hear about it at all, and all of a sudden, the day of the draft, it's like, oh, Derek Stingley could go third overall.
Yep.
Yeah.
And bam, it happens. But moving on to the better cornerback at fourth overall, the New York Jets, taking Sauce Gardner, corner out of Cincinnati.
A.
Yep, A plus. Boy,
A.
the guy's a freak. And the Jets, dude, winners of the draft. Is that your guys' winner?
Potentially. We'll talk
Sure.
about it at
I'm
the
not
end.
sure. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
I would say the Jets. I guess with the first two picks, the ones that they came into the draft with, I was kind of surprised that they left the trenches out of those two picks. But this is a passing league, and I think that kind of reflected in what they're going after. So they got the two opposite ends of the passing league, and they got probably the best two in each of those positions.
Yeah. A for all of us then.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give it an A.
Another A coming off the board, I think, here for me. Kayvon Thibodeau, edge out of Oregon. Dylan said something about like having somewhat. Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, prospect exhaustion or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, people, when they see the first overall pick, they love to tear it down because that's kind of their way of showing how good of an analyst they think they are. And then they prop up people that have more negative qualities, but that's them kind of trying to find the diamond in the rough and ignoring the easy answer. So that's what I think Kayvon Thibodeau is he's the easy answer. A lot of people don't want to take it because it feels easy, but this is a great pick for the Giants.
Yeah, I agree. A.
Yep.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Sixth, they spelled Iki. Interesting. Carolina Panthers. I was excited with this when they took Ike Mekwonu, offensive tackle out of North Carolina State. I think it's a great pick. I voiced my opinion very strongly on my last mock draft that taking a quarterback for the Panthers is just an idiotic idea. You're literally drafting somebody for a new regime because you're being fired at the end of that year. And they didn't. They picked a good offensive tackle because they struggled with that last year on the offensive line. I think he's the best offensive tackle in the draft, and I think it's a great pick.
I agree.
Yeah.
They didn't pick it up.
Yeah, I give it a B.
Yeah, and I think it's going to help Christian McCaffrey a lot too. He's a great run blocking tackle, so that'll be fun to see as well.
Speaking of Christian McCaffrey, funny you bring that up. After they were just, they had like their little press conference quickly, a couple questions at the end of the draft after you get drafted before they let you go, and he was talking like, I drafted Christian McCaffrey in my fantasy league every year for the last like 4 years, and now I'm going to be blocking for him.
Yeah,
It's just it's pretty cool to see, like, I'm idolizing this guy, now I'm playing with him. That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Seventh, Evan Neal, offensive tackle from Alabama. The New York Giants take him, covering both trenches. They went the complete opposite of what the other team in New York did. They went that the trenches is important. The Jets went, this is a passing league. So both of them looked really good.
Yeah, I like Evan Neal a lot. I think he's the most well-rounded tackle, and he's going to make the most impact right away. Yeah, and the Giants needed that. So I would have expected them to take tackle first, but they ended up with two great players, potentially the best at both of their positions as well. So. I hate
I'd
New
give
York
it
being good.
given an A as well. I think I give it an A. Like honestly, like
Hmm.
that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I think for a
Yeah,
whole day there, that's A minus.
yeah.
Cleaned up well.
Yeah.
You guys are not gonna like this one.
Hmm.
Nope. This is an awful pick. Drake London, wide receiver out of USC, going to the Atlanta Falcons as the first wide receiver taken. Um, D. I won't say anything more. I don't want to knock the kid down anymore, but
I'll give it a B minus. I think Drake London, he's got good hands. He's got dependability and a big frame, and he's got really good yak ability. Obviously, separation is going to be an issue, but his game translates better to the NFL than it does to college because college is a lot of spread offenses. But obviously, I think Garrett Wilson's better. I think Chris Olave and Jameson Williams are better.
yes.
C for me.
Yeah, just being nice.
We'll see how he does.
Seattle Seahawks finally doing something to protect Russell Wilson now that he's gone. They're drafting Cross, tackle out of Mississippi State, which we're bagging on it, making fun, a little joke, but it's a great pick. That's what they needed to do. You had lost a franchise quarterback because you literally couldn't protect him, and now you have the capital to go out and do it. Just pick up the line, do what you can to protect him. I like that a lot. B plus for me.
Yeah, real rebuild kind of pick, and I think they're kind of in it for the next 2 or 3 years, building up that team where it was before, and getting a franchise left tackle is awesome.
Yeah, I like the pick.
Cool.
I'll give it a B plus.
Mikey.
B.
Mikey's not necessarily in the best mood tonight. We're doing this right after the end of the first round draft, so he's going to be a little quiet for a bit. 10th overall, the New York Jets are back on the board, and I think another A-plus pick right here. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Wilson to Wilson connection. The Jets have had a great offseason, and it continues with the draft. I think they did really good. They didn't overthink their picks. They just went with what was best available at that time, and they did it. I like it a lot. I really like Garrett Wilson. He's a route runner and a tactician on the field.
I think if T.Y. Hilton was to ever hand down the name Ghost, I think it would be to Garrett Wilson. He's just one of those guys that he just disappears from cornerbacks and DBs and just gets open. That's something that T.Y. Hilton was known for, but Garrett Wilson's bigger, could potentially even be faster. So to bring my Colts into the conversation, I had to bring that up. But no, I love the pick, and passing league, great move. A minus.
Mikey, any opinions on your Jets?
A. Good for them.
Yeah, New York's doing too well. I don't like it.
Yeah. 11th overall. This is where it got fun. I'll give you the full trade details. The Washington Commies and Saints make a trade. The Commanders got the 11th. They traded their 11th pick. They got the 16th and the 98th and the 120th pick. And the Saints traded all the way up, and they got their Ohio State boy to pair up with slant boy Chris Olave, wide receiver at Ohio State. I really like the pick. Well, some people were speculating that was going to be a quarterback. The Saints have made it very well known that think that they're a team that can win now, and they're trying to win now. And this is good. They needed weapons on the outside last year. It was an obvious need, and Chris Olave does that very well. I like the pick. I give it about a B plus, A minus.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, I'd give it a B plus, mainly because you had to trade up so far to get to him. It's not ideal, but obviously the player's great, and I think him and Wilson are the top two in this draft.
Do you guys think that they had to trade up so high because they wanted to get him, or because of what's going to happen next? Like, did they start this, or did they just get ahead of it?
I think they got ahead of it.
They're definitely part of the problem for sure.
Two different opinions. All right, like it, see it. The 12th overall pick, another continuation of just like the craziest moment in this night. Like from the Drake London to probably like 16 was just nonstop craziness. This one, the Lions trade all the way up from 32 to 12. The Lions got they gave them their 32nd pick, their 34th pick, and their 66th pick. And they got back the 46th pick and the 12th pick. And there's a chart that determines like all of the like the point system based on each pick and like what you win. And usually like a decent trade is like, you know, plus minus 30, 35. You want to be within those points for it to be kind of like an even trade. The Lions won this trade by 230 points, according to that. And they trade all the way up to 12, and basically they gave up a second-round pick for it.
Yeah, impressive trade, honestly. It was ballsy to make that trade.
And it did very well.
Yeah. And, I mean, I feel like everyone said for every team, like, oh, Jameson Williams would be a great pick because they can let him wait on, you know, and recover. I've heard that for literally every team for every reason. Jameson Williams is just a great pick. Like, that's all you need to say. You don't need to say anything about his injury. He should come back. But, yeah, 3 wide receivers from the 2011 Ohio State wide receiver corps. That's impressive.
I think this has got to be an A+ for me because of the trade that they got and then the player that they got.
Yeah, I would say A.
I go an A.
I agree.
They now got St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and DJ Chark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Detroit. It's not bad. 13th overall. Again, another crazy pick. So we had an argument on our live stream. Dylan thinks that they only make this trade because they knew that the Lions traded to get Jameson Williams, blah, blah, blah. And we're thinking, no way. They absolutely traded thinking they could try to get Jameson Williams, and then they ended up getting shafted. Either way, Philadelphia did pretty well.
Yeah. We'll never figure out who was right and who was wrong.
Yeah, okay. You guys drop it in the comments. Do other teams share before they pick their pick? Oh yeah, we're gonna take this guy. Go ahead and trade so you can take whoever you want. Yeah, no.
Dan?
No, they traded the Texans traded the 13th pick, and they got the 15th pick from the Eagles. They got their 4th round pick and 2 5th round picks all this year.
Crazy.
So not too bad. Just stacking up picks. They need, obviously, the Texans just need talent on the roster. So getting a bunch of young guys on cheap deals in later rounds.
I think Gage has
not bad.
I think Gage has to be the most grateful for this trade because it took the Ravens out of the running to get Jordan Davis, which I think would be the most disruptive thing the Ravens could have done for the Browns.
In fairness, the Ravens killed the draft and killed themselves at the same time. We'll get into that next. I think Jordan Davis is what, a B?
Yeah.
I think they gave up. I think they got screwed on the trade. I think they were going for Jameson Williams. I'll give it a.
I don't know. I don't think they were.
14th overall, we got the Baltimore Ravens. They took Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. I hate the pick. Kyle Hamilton's really good. He just doesn't have that quote-unquote positional value that's important. But he's a top 10 player in this draft, pure talent. And they got him without moving at all. They just sat there and they got a guy that fell to him. So I'm not exactly happy with it. For them, it's an A. Yeah,
it's a very good pick, and they're going to use him all over the place. That's one of the things that we've talked endlessly about him is you can use him all over the place, and the Baltimore Ravens know how to do that. So they're not just getting the safety out of him, which is awesome for them.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we going with? A for everybody?
B plus.
Let's say B plus.
B plus. B plus. All right.
Yeah.
And then Houston Texans with their trade back, they ended up getting guard from Texas A&M, Kenyon Green. Mikey called this one. when they trade
Yeah.
back. Dylan and I were like, that's a little early for a guard. But I mean, I guess at the same time, really, just pick whoever you like. And I mean,
Yeah.
with the Texans, they need every position, so just take whoever you want and think's going to make the most impact. I say it's probably like I would say it's probably a C pick, but because of the haul that they got and only dropping back 2 spots, I guess I'll give it a B minus.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like there's some comparisons to him being like the right side version of Quentin Nelson. He's got a mean streak and everything like that. Um, I mean, it makes their offensive line better. I think it's not the sexy thing to do, but for the Texans, trading back, getting more picks, and getting a very solid offensive lineman, I'd give that a B plus for sure.
Michelle,
Well,
try to smile,
No.
buddy. It's okay.
I give it a B. They got good picks back, and they only moved back 2 spots, and they get a guy that can sit on their line for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years to protect whoever and just keep that line going. So definitely worth the first round pick. I'll tell you that for free.
So,
Hey,
yeah,
I mean, if you're really looking at it, this is the Houston Texans really showing that they're the Patriots of the South.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, 16th overall, they got the Washington Commanders taking Jahan Dotson, Penn State wide receiver.
I'm shocked on that one.
Yeah, that was like, what? Are you kidding me? Over some of the other guys? No, I honestly am not a big fan. I like Jahan Dotson, and I've said this
Yeah.
before. I think he reminds me a ton of Antonio Brown coming out of college. And if he went to the right place, he would be crazy potential. Going and playing with Carson Wentz is not that place. I give this a C. Not on the
Yeah.
player, but just what's going to end up having to happen, I think.
I would say pick wise, I mean, you trade back. That's always a bonus. But Jahan Dotson, to me, I think he's good and all. I think he kind of is going to be the Robin to Scary Terry's Batman. And I think it's just a good pick for the Commanders, regardless of the Carson Wentz deal and their future at quarterback and everything. But the only thing I would say is you have the one wide receiver from UNC last year
Samuel.
who, no,
Oh, not on the Commanders. Got it.
yeah,
I thought-
yeah. So he was on UNC last year. What's his name?
Where did he get drafted to?
He got drafted to the Commanders. He was a wide receiver taken last year.
The quick guy.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like you have all these kind of smaller, faster wide receivers. I don't like the mix of wide receivers that they have with Washington. So that's why I would say this is kind of a C plus for me.
Dwami Brown
Yeah, De'Ami Brown. Yeah.
or Cam Sims? Cam Sims played more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the pick.
It's just weird.
C.
Yeah, one of those ones you just don't know.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Chargers, they do the smart thing. They take Zion Johnson, offensive lineman out of Boston College. He's liked for his versatility. He's most likely a guard, but he can also play that tackle position, and they're doing what they can to keep Justin Herbert upright. So you can't be mad at it.
Yeah, I think everyone heard someone give a take about they need to stop the run, so they need to take a defensive tackle, and that's all everyone ever projected for him. But it was I don't know. You can get a run stuffer in the second and third rounds, like if that's what you're looking for. They bolstered the D line in other ways. They got Khalil Mack and someone else, I think. But no, I think this is a really good pick. Oh yeah, they got J.C. Jackson. But yeah, keeping Justin Herbert clean in the pocket, it's gonna help them compete in that dangerous AFC West.
And they got Khalil Mack.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Oh, did you? I thought I heard
Yeah.
Jackson. My bad. I misheard that. Yeah, B plus. You guys good with that?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say B plus.
Alrighty,
This-
so 18th
My favorite
overall.
pick. I
Uh,
love this. I love this so much. I had a great first round.
the Eagles traded their 18th pick to Tennessee Titans for AJ Brown and a. So the Titans got the 18th pick, right? And they also got the 101st, and they traded away AJ Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. In which then the Eagles paid him a 5-year or
4-year.
3-year, $100
5-year,
million,
100 mil.
3-year, 100
Five-
million. Was it 5? Are you short?
5 years, 100 million.
Yeah, I'll get the correct numbers here in a sec. But man, it's just going to show like 4 years. We're all wrong.
I said
Oh, yeah,
4
4
years.
years.
Oh, did you, Mikey?
Yes, no one cared.
And Mikey's the real professional here.
I
We
don't
can't
know.
really hear you, buddy. You gotta speak up.
Don't care.
Oh, I love this pick. It means AJ Brown's out of the AFC South. Traylon Burks is good, but not anywhere near what AJ Brown is. So I love this. Makes me happy.
They have AJ Brown at home now.
Yeah.
I struggle because I love Traylon Burks, but this is not like the right place for him. I give this like a C plus B minus for the Titans. Great job on the Eagles' part. They did a very good job. Hopefully Hurts learns how to throw the football. 19th overall, the New Orleans Saints, they took Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa, get that replacement for Terran Armstead. I really like the pick. I give it a solid B. He's not a surefire Pro Bowl starting tackle in the NFL, but he's got that potential to be. So
Yeah,
can't
with
be
that
mad at it.
potential, I would give them A minus for this because you got him all the way at 19 when it was one of your biggest needs. So I just think the culmination of everything, I thought that was very, very good for the Saints.
20th overall. Mikey, do you have anything on Trevor Penning? You're actually a big fan of him.
No, they needed him, and he's a stud, so I like the pick. I give it a B plus.
Yeah, Mikey's a huge fan of Trevor Penning. I think he might be his like favorite tackle.
He's a mean dude.
My favorite pick of the draft, right here, 20th overall. The Pittsburgh Steelers sit and they get their quarterback of the future, Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh. He stays in Pittsburgh. I mean, this is great. You guys, Steelers fans, have just been bashing and pissing and shitting on Baker Mayfield for the last 4 years, and you guys got the Baker Mayfield light with tiny, tiny hands. I cannot freaking wait. They're gonna try to hype this up, be like, "Oh, I'm so proud and happy," blah 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 blah. Everything you guys say about Baker Mayfield and all that crap that you guys have been doing, shove that onto your quarterback, and now he's a rookie. And you have no offensive line to protect him. I think this is great. I love it. I called this pick when I did my mock draft out of spite and hope that this would happen, and it did. A plus pick right here. Nothing else needs to be said. Best pick of the night. What a steal.
Only thing I'll say is that Pittsburgh was nearly a playoff team with a quarterback that couldn't move and couldn't throw more than 20 yards. Kenny Pickett can move and he can throw further than 20 yards.
To the other team.
Exactly.
Roethlisberger knew how to throw it to his own team.
Yeah.
And that took
But,
for
yeah.
them to be the playoff team. That took for the Ravens to be absolutely decimated by injury and the Browns to play the absolute worst possible play they could in every single game to lose games and then barely miss it out. I think it's great. Beautiful. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's right. Kenny Pickett's going to make you guys a playoff team.
All right. Well,
I fucking love it.
21, the Patriots select Evan Lloyd.
Oh, don't rub the salt in the wound yet, dude.
I have to. He brings up the freaking banner every time I say
Every
anything
time,
about
yeah.
the Patriots.
That is fair.
Did you ever get that banner hung yet, though, for that game you guys cared so much about for some reason?
We're hanging one for Cole Strange.
Hell yeah. We're about to.
So the 21st overall, the Kansas City Chiefs trade up with the New England Patriots. They get the Patriots get the 29th pick, the 94th, and the 121st. So a good little haul there. And unfortunately for Mikey, he gets to see one of his favorite corners, Trent McDuffie from Washington, corner going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's a great pick for the Chiefs. They have a need in the secondary. They have a need on defense, and they addressed it in this draft really well. I give this a B+. Not as good as the Kenny Pickett draft pick, but this is a solid one for the Chiefs. Unfortunately, because the Chiefs don't need to keep getting better.
Yeah, I mean the Kansas City Chiefs are still 2 cornerbacks shy of competing with the Bengals wide receivers. So
they're two cornerbacks shy of having a legitimate quarterback group.
yeah.
But still, and we'll move on quickly to this next pick because I think this is probably one of the biggest shocks of the draft, if not the biggest, probably the second. Got the Green Bay Packers taking Quay Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. The Packers traded Devonta Adams for Quay Walker.
They just get 1 first-round pick from the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I think they got that and then like a 3rd rounder or something.
The thing though is Quay Walker is a huge linebacker. He's fast as well. I mean, he's the Edmonds.
He's a good linebacker. He's just not somebody that was going to be picked in the 1st round. Like nobody was going to pick him.
Yeah, but that's just us. That's just talking heads saying, oh yeah, well Quay Walker is a 2nd-round pick. But NFL scouts. I mean, I trust the Packers more than I trust Mel Kiper and stuff like that. So.
Which is fair. It's just you traded the only weapon you had on the offense in the passing game.
The only thing I'll say though is everyone mocked the Colts for taking Darius Leonard in the 2nd round, and obviously proved everyone wrong there. That's why I'll never judge a linebacker projection because of that. So I don't have any problems with it. I would say it's a B- though. I don't think it's a fantastic pick, but I'm not going to say it's awful.
It's a C for me. Mikey? Nothing? You're just going to keep moving on? Okay. 23rd overall, we got the Buffalo Bills. They made a trade up for this actually with the Baltimore Ravens, in which we should explain the Baltimore Ravens traded Marquise Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals for the 23rd overall pick, and they got the 23rd and the 100th round pick for Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown is worth a 1st-round pick apparently now. Another thing about this, apparently this trade was made before the draft happened, and they kept it quiet. And Hollywood Brown is actually in Las Vegas for like the Cardinals draft selection thing as like their draft parade. And then another bit of information, the Ravens kept a really quiet, tight-lipped group here because apparently he requested a trade directly after the season ended, and it was for a complicated topic that they haven't gotten into and is not made public. So apparently there was something going on between the Ravens and Hollywood Brown for a while, and nobody really knew about it, especially during all these like wide receivers asking to be traded time this offseason. Hollywood Brown was just kind of thrown in there, and he actually was asking for a trade. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that shows Baltimore Ravens have a great
Front office
and everything like that. I'm not a big fan of the Ravens. They always kick butt, but yeah, I think that shows how good of a front office they are. That it didn't get leaked out or anything.
They got a 1st-round pick for Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, impressive. And then they proceeded to trade back to get even more picks out of it too.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown hasn't even met his 1st-round grade that they drafted him in, and yet they got a 1st-round pick from him. Very good job on their part. The Bills, however, traded up with Baltimore from the 25th to the 21st, and the Ravens got the 130th 4th-round pick for him. The Buffalo Bills, they draft Kaiir Elam, corner out of Florida. I will never doubt a cornerback from Florida being drafted in the 1st round. They always kind of do well. They always kind of end up playing like Joe Hayden, just smaller guys that are scrappy and just
Yeah.
talk like none other, and they do really well. So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, Elam is the second best press man corner in the draft, and I mean he's 6'1.5", I think, so he's not tiny, and he produced for the last 2 years at a high level. So this is a great pick at a position of need for the Bills.
Yeah, I give it a B minus. I think it's a good combination with Tre'Davious White on the other side. Like you said,
Yeah.
press man coverage. Just have that extra press right there for a little bit of time, and then you've got those great safeties at the back end and Poyer and why am I blanking on his name?
Micah Hyde.
Micah Hyde. Thank you, Mikey. So I think it's a good thing. They needed secondary help. Everyone knew it, and they went and got their guy. B minus, Mikey. What do you give it?
B.
I
Yeah.
give it a B plus.
Yeah, cool. Solid B around. 24th overall, the Dallas Cowboys, they take Tyler Smith, tackle out of Tulsa. I haven't watched film on this guy very much. I don't really know. I'm just going to defer it to Mikey and Dylan, who have actually paid attention to this guy.
Yeah, Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. He's one of those guys that one of the things that I think we said during our live stream was usually a group of five third-year players don't go out in the into the draft or declare unless they get some pretty good news from the draft committee. That seemed to pay off a lot better than the news that Matt Corral got about him being in the first round. So Dallas Cowboys feel a position of need. Tyler Smith, he's on the up. I don't know if he's necessarily, going to be a star at right tackle right away, but he looks very good as a tackle. He's got very good movement and a lot of intensity in him. So I think it's good. Obviously, the other tackles like Trevor Penning and whatnot are better, but I think he fits here. I give it a B, or just a standard B.
Mikey,
Yeah, I give it a B.
you got nothing to say, buddy? You just kind of, you're just saving it all? All right. We'll get his opinion
All
here
right.
soon. 25th overall, I hate it. The Baltimore Ravens stay where they're at, and they get Kyle Hamilton, who's a top 10 talent in this draft. Just positional value makes him drop. They trade away Marquise Hollywood Brown, who can't catch a football to save his damn life, for a first-round pick. And then they trade that back and get another fourth-round pick. And then they get Tyler Linderbaum, who is probably the best lineman, period, in this draft. At 25th overall. Like, I just, it's really frustrating. That being said, a fun tidbit of information about this, Lamar Jackson is pissed. As soon as Tyler Linderbaum was drafted, it was what the fuck on his Twitter. Like, just that was it. He is not a happy camper. He lost Hollywood Brown, and they have not replaced him with anything. He does not have a deal, and I'm going to make a bold prediction that Lamar Jackson will not be playing on the Baltimore Ravens after this year. He will be on a new team. That being said, A+ on the pick. The dude's a freaking beast. Whatever.
Yeah, I think it's an A+ pick, but I'm just gonna refute or rebut the WTF tweet. I think that was more of him losing Marquise Brown, kind of seemingly out of nowhere. I know that they were kind of buddies, so I mean they lose their best friend, kind of sucks. But I don't think he hates Linderbaum.
It was tweeted directly after the pick was announced.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can necessarily put it with like 100% certainty. I think it's still in the air, kind of what it was for. But I mean, if that's the case, and he's saying what the F to a center being put there, then I don't want that guy as my franchise quarterback because that team's trying to protect you.
Well, Mikey,
But yeah,
Tyler Linderbaum, your boy.
Would have loved him.
yeah, we're it's like seeing a train crash about to happen, and you know it's gonna happen. It's kind of what Mike's feeling right now. But
Another W right here from the New York Jets. They get Jermaine Johnson, the second defensive end out of Florida State. Joe Douglas, he said that they got 3 of their top 8 prospects on their draft board tonight.
Yeah.
This was a trade after trading AJ Brown to the Eagles to get the 18th pick. The Tennessee Titans traded their second first round pick, the 26th, and their third rounder 101 to the Jets for second round 35, 69, and 163. So trying to accumulate some more draft capital, and I think it was just a bad choice. I think this is a great pick. I think Jermaine Johnson unluckily just fell tonight. I think he's a great prospect. I give this a B plus, A minus for sure.
Yeah, I'd say it's a B plus. I had Jermaine Johnson going, I think 29 overall in my final mock draft. So 3 picks off. Obviously, this is a good pick for the Jets. Just one of those things where it's just kind of the fits and the needs of every team. Kind of just let Jermaine Johnson fall, and I think Saul is going to make good use of him. So I'd say it's B plus for sure.
Mikey, anything? Nothing. Just gonna move on. This pick right here was awesome.
No.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, they trade up with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay actually does pretty well here. They trade back, and they get the 35th pick, so they got the 3rd pick tomorrow. The 106th and 180th for moving back a few spots. I think the Buccaneers were hoping Linderbaum was still there when he was taken. Just get out. Smart move by them. They get some draft capital, and the smart move by the Jaguars getting up and taking Devin Lloyd. They've been tormented by Darius Leonard in their own division for a few years, and they get pretty much kind of the similar style player right here. Hopefully, his carbon copy and Devin Lloyd.
He won't be punching footballs out like Darius Leonard, but I would say he's a bulkier version. And I think he comes in with a lot more power in his legs than Darius Leonard. And don't like this. I called it as soon as I saw that trade. I was like, Jaguars. The only other person I could see them picking is Devin Lloyd right now, and that happened, and I was kind of pissed. But I'd say honestly, I would say it's an A minus for him. It's a very good pick.
Solid A right here.
Yeah.
Buccaneers pick first tomorrow, by the way, not 3rd.
Yeah. Not crazy.
How do they pick first now? What
Jacksonville had the first overall pick in the 2nd round.
They got the 35th one.
No, they had the first. It said right before.
They had the 33. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this thing I'm reading is incorrect.
No, they're picking first tomorrow.
Thanks for correcting me. Yeah, they pick first tomorrow. Nice.
Oh yeah, you're good though. But yeah, this is a good pickup for them.
We're getting closer. So, 28 overall, Devonta Wyatt, defensive tackle. One of the things I felt like I hung my hat on was the Packers not taking a wide receiver, where everyone was having them take 2 wide receivers in the first round. Probably the board didn't fall that way, but I think Devonta Wyatt is a very good defensive tackle. One of those prospects where BPA is not going to fail you. I really like Devonta Wyatt, and I mean, helping Aaron Rodgers is stopping the other team too. So this isn't a bad pick, but I would give it a B plus.
It's not the flashy one that people want, right? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers' wide receiver core right now is very, 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 very thin, and obsolete, really. But they got a few picks in the 2nd round, some 3rd rounders. They'll be just fine.
We'll get Deebo Samuel.
That'd be crazy. Devonta Wyatt is a baller. I like the pick a lot. Mikey, do you have anything to say, or are you just gonna take over here from this next pick? And
Devonta Wyatt? No, I guess they were just going straight up defense today. So just.
Well, they didn't want to break the trend of drafting an offensive player to help their quarterback in the 1st round.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys you can get for good value in the 2nd round. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Devonta Wyatt was not going to be there for one of them next, and he is a clear step up and a drop off from him and Jordan Davis to the next D tackles.
Yeah, that's a guy you can have on your defensive line there for years to come. So,
and hopefully it helps them stop the run, which they've struggled with for the last few years.
Yeah,
they kind of finally addressed it. A couple years late, but they've addressed it. And then 29th overall, we got New England, they took Dr. Strange out of Tennessee, Chattanooga guard.
Yeah.
Mikey,
Yep.
the floor's all yours, bro.
Okay. Perfect. So first thing I gotta say is I'm so glad we traded Shaq Mason for a 5th round draft pick, just so we can come here and draft Cole Strange in the 1st round. We trade back from 21 and pass on arguably the best corner in the draft. I mean, obviously it's Sauce, but he's top 3 in Trent McDuffie. Pass on him. We don't need it. Malcolm Butler, who's 32 years old, just to go out there and wipe the floor with these kids.
Especially since you were retired for 1 year.
Yeah,
Too.
He's fresh and ready to go. And Jonathan Jones, after that nice back surgery he's coming back from, dude, he's gonna be ready to go too. Straight slingers out there, dude. Anyways, moving on. Cole Strange, he's gonna be 30 by the end of his rookie contract. He will be 30 years old. So glad we got rid of Shaq Mason, who was 28 and is way better than Cole Strange, because Cole Strange is a 3rd to 4th round draft pick at best. So I'm so glad we picked him here, by the way. Just makes me the happiest guy on this planet. I can't believe we drafted this guy yet. 29. He's a 6-year senior, and he's a 5-year starter at Tennessee Chattanooga. If you've been playing college football that long and you haven't advanced from Tennessee Chattanooga, there's a reason you haven't advanced from Tennessee Chattanooga. So it's ridiculous, but I give this an F. This is not the right place to pick this guy. You could have picked him later on in different rounds, and this is an F pick all around. You can try and talk it up all you want. It's an F. He's terrible. It doesn't matter. He won't make it long enough, because he's going to be 30 and he's going to be out of the league in a year after his rookie deal. Doesn't matter. He will never be all pro. Never. So this is an F pick. There are better players on the board. You traded back for what? F.
Well, Bill Belichick said that Strange, he wouldn't have lasted much longer if the Patriots didn't take him at 29.
Bull crap.
I mean, we don't know what other teams' draft boards are, but we do know that the Rams were looking at him at around 100.
104, yeah. Only 80 picks higher than what he was supposed to do.
Well, to be fair, that's the first pick that the Rams even had, so.
I know. Oh, man.
I'll just say my piece. I'm not trying to talk it up from an F grade to an A grade. I'm just saying it's something that I think will work. Yeah, he's 26 now, but linemen are starting to play until they're 35. So you potentially got 8 to 10 years out of him potentially.
I'll take
He's a lot cheaper. He's a lot cheaper than the guy that you guys traded, and yeah, I mean, he's older, but his body has matured a little bit more, so he's probably more ready to play in the NFL compared to some of these younger guards. And I mean, he put up with the defensive edge class and stuff like that in the Senior Bowl. So I know people were talking very well about him prior to this draft, and he was getting a lot of rise lately just through how people are talking about him. Still, I think 2nd round is spot, but
yeah,
it's not like you're taking an undrafted free agent in the 1st round. So that's all I would say. And I don't like the Patriots, so me trying to sugarcoat it's just me saying it's honestly, I mean, it's bad, but it's not end of the world, I would say.
Honestly, it's just funny to me. One, what Dylan said is amazing. The fact that offensive linemen can play till like they're 35, and it's pretty common, especially since they take hits every single play.
Yeah.
Rather incredible on their part. Second, Bill Belichick just saw Tennessee Chattanooga, and he got a hard on it. he had to draft him.
It's like, this guy played 4 snaps of D3 football? Hell yeah. He's really coachable. Let's draft him. 1st round? Sounds good to me, boys. What do you guys think?
He has a bar down the middle of his helmet.
Hell.
Oh, gosh.
F.
30th overall, the Kansas City Chiefs. They take George Karlaftis, edge out of Purdue. I love this pick. On a more relaxed note,
yeah,
the Browns are looking
keep getting fucking richer. Son of a bitch, dude. A.
And the trades just keep getting
A,
stranger.
okay. The Cincinnati Bengals, they get the safety out of Michigan, Daxton Hill.
He'll be a great replacement for Jesse Bates. A. Moving on. I'm just kidding.
No, bro, it's 30 seconds.
What?
Second overall, the Minnesota Vikings, they select Lewis Sine, safety out of Georgia.
They need all the help they can get. Great player.
Yeah.
Moving on. I'm just kidding.
I'll just say real quick about the last three. George Karlaftis is, I think he's an immediate starter there for Kansas City. I think he's got a lot of great abilities about him. Daxton Hill's a starter at slot for them who could potentially shift to safety once Jesse Bates is out of town. And Louis Seen is a very good safety. I think he can play all over the board for him. And I think most people thought the Vikings were going for a corner, but Louis Seen's not bad either. So, yeah, that wraps it up for me.
Yep. Oh my gosh. All right, John Snyder.
You want to just wrap this up?
Yeah, so winners of the draft, I would say definitely the Jets. The Chiefs did a very good job. The Philadelphia Eagles did very well for themselves. And the Giants did very well for themselves. And the Lions,
Yep.
I would say. Some draft news after the fact. John Schneider, I think the GM or owner for the Seahawks, about Charles Cross, said very, very high character, a 2-home parent.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. Yikes, bro. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Oh, boy.
No bueno.
Wow.
Wow. Jinx.
Yeah,
Oh.
seriously.
Wow, dude. That's tough to say.
You can't say that, yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have the pancake eating motherfucker as my GM.
Yeah. Devontae Mack, no matter what.
Yeah. But dang, dude, that's a tough one to come back from.
Yep. Some other things. Mike Vrabel was visibly pissed in the draft room. You could see he went out a couple times on the Rich Eisen show, on the Pat McAfee show, and said that they will not be trading AJ Brown as long as he's the head coach. And then AJ Brown tweeted this out: Tennessee, I love you and will always be in my heart. I can say this now. This is not my fault, but I wish you all the best. So it looks like it was blindsided all around.
Say. Yeah.
It's
but
good to see for Dylan there, huh?
yeah, I would love to see AJ Brown. I mean, I think he was the scariest player for us to defend against. I mean, obviously Derrick Henry is what Derrick Henry is, but AJ Brown was just a handful on top of that. So yeah. I love it. I don't think Tannehill's going to do much with Bobby Trees and Treylon Burks. So I'm happy.
Last bit of information on the AJ Brown thing. Important reminder that AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, and DK Metcalf all share the same agent.
Yeah, they're going to be asking for a lot of money, and they're just going to get traded.
Yep, that's what I think it's going to end up happening, because these teams, they're not going to be paying these wide receivers that money. I think it's going to be the AJ Kirk or the Christian Kirk inflation. So that's going to be quite interesting to see where they're going to end up going and what happens. And then in another non-important thing whatsoever and hopes to stay relevant, Odell Beckham Jr. tweets, "I will be back. I don't know when, where, but I will be back." That's great to know, dude.
Good. Sweet.
Yep. So we'll end it on that.
If you made it this far, definitely drop a like, drop a comment, drop what team you're a fan of, who your team drafted, and why it was a better pick than the Patriots.
And why it's not as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Kenny Pickett.
And why it's definitely better than the Colts not being able to draft in the first round because of Carson Wentz.
Man, we all just get to take hits. But we appreciate you guys watching. Draft was crazy. We had fun live streaming and just hanging out. And with that,
More content
stay
on the way.
tuned. Yeah, we're gonna bring some more content. Deuces.